So today, I thought it'd be fun to create some donuts. So I have a whole bunch of ideas of how to draw donuts and color them. Thought it'd be fun to do to draw out a dragon and put some wings on him and his ears at the top and a tail. And this is a donut, so this is a dragon donut. Alright, so the first thing, you know, you can use something to make a round circle if you want, or you can just freehand a circle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a really big donut, and I'm going to use this just to make my circle to get started. Now I am using a pencil. A lot of times I don't use pencils, but I am using a pencil this time. We want to make sure that when you make your round circle that you have enough room for his ears. He's got to have ears, and he's going to have like his wings, because dragons usually have that, right? So I use this little palette, it's just round, to put down here just to get started. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a center in our donut. Where I'm going to start is I'm going to start here in the center, and I'm going to go up above. I'm going to do a curved line. This is going to be part of his nostrils, his big nose, and we're going to put a loop around like this, and then another loop around like that, and put circles in here so he can breathe. Then we're going to add two big eyes up here. I think I want to... We're going to put over the nostril, you're going to put one eye, and over the other nostril, you're going to put another eye, and you get to choose how large you want them to be. He's got to have eyeballs so he can see, so maybe some eyebrows, and then maybe he has some fangs hanging down, his teeth, because he's a dragon, right? Okay, and then above his eyes, we're going to put in his ears. They're going to go out like that. So we're going to take this and we're going to pull out our pencil, and then we're going to do jagged lines back down to his head. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side, a curve out, and then jagged lines back down to his head. We're going to do, and then we're kind of doing the same thing with our wings. The wings are going to be here, and so we're going to pull the wings, we're going to pull the wing out, and then jagged back in, just like that. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, pull it out, and jagged back in to his body. You know, I'm looking at his face and I'm wondering if I shouldn't have made it bigger. And it would start with the donut hole needs to be bigger. Alright. So after we put the wings in, we got to figure out how large do we want his face to be. And we want him to cover the face to kind of cover up the center here. So we want to get a circle in the middle. We want to make it pretty big. Right, and then we're going to go right above it. We're going to put a curved line, and then we're going to pull out a curved line that goes up and out. These are his nostrils for his nose, like that. And then we got to put his eyes in, his big old eyes, and maybe we put some eyebrows, and don't forget to put his eyeballs in so he can see. Now, and you know me, a lot of times I love putting lines at the top so it looks like he has eyelids. You put these little lines up here so he has an eyelid. Okay, and then down here we're going to put in his teeth. We could put in, maybe he has 3 teeth. I don't know. We can put in his teeth. So the last thing we want to do is we want to put in a tail. So I'm just starting over here, and I'm pulling it out and going around like that. And then maybe we come down just a little bit so it's thicker here and thinner here. Go down a little bit, and then we're going to come around, and it's going to meet and be thinner here. And then we can also, on the end of the tail, you could put like a puff of fur, or you could put a barb. I mean, I'm trying to figure out how to draw that. It would probably have a point on it, and then it would go out maybe like that. I don't know. I kind of want to just do like a puff of hair. What do we want to do on the end of that tail? Let's see. I mean, basically we can just do the same thing as that. So we can curve out and put in jagged, and then curve out and put in jagged, and then it all goes together. All of these shapes go together. So do you see what I'm doing here? All right. So now we're going to go in, we're going to color it with markers. I have already figured out what colors I wanted to use, and I scribbled some. I'm using a test paper for my markers to figure out what colors I want on my page before I get started. So then that way I'm not right in the middle of putting the markers on here and then I go, yikes, I don't like it. You know, you don't want that to happen, right? So, okay, so right here at this tail, we want to make sure we erase, because the tail is on top of the donut. The other thing we didn't do is, if this is a donut, it should have icing on it. So we're going to go in and we're going to put in this drippy icing on our donut like that. And then this is going to be the actual donut, and then this up here is going to be the icing on the donut. So we need to decide where we're going to put sprinkles. You know, donuts have sprinkles on them, right? I have two different colors of green. I have the light color of green, which I'm going to color the top part of his body here. So I'm going to go through here, and I'm adding this light green on the top. This is the icing that's going to be on this cupcake. You can start anywhere you want. This is just where I started.
Don't miss another video. Subscribe today.
So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm getting my orange, and his eyelids are going to be orange right here. And his ears are going to be orange. Just like that. And then while we have the orange in here, I thought that we would put icing on the bottom down here, and we're going to put sprinkles on it. So I'm going to take all the different colors that we're going to use, and we are going to put sprinkles all over our donut on the bottom half. So the colors that we're going to put down here is orange, and then purple, And I'm going to go back to this light green, and I'm going to add this light green down here. So the next step is I'm going in with my darker green, and I am going to do his wings, this darker green, just like that. And I'm going to do his tail, the darker green, part of the tail the darker green, and then the end of it I'm going to use the lighter green. Alright, and then I'm taking the darker green and I'm going to make his nose this darker green. And I'm going to do something really fun. I'm going to go back with the purple, and I'm going to go over this, the eye, part of the eye with purple, and give him purple eyes. It's a fantasy, right? He can have purple eyes if he wants. Okay, now we're going to take our Sharpie marker, and we're going to go back over everything to highlight it. So I'm going to start with the eyes, going around the outside of the eye and the eyelid and coloring his eyeball here like that and giving him eyebrows. He's going to have teeth. Go around this donut like that. I'm going to go around this other one like this. And he has to have nostrils so he can smell and breathe. And sometimes I like to turn my paper around. I'm just better if I do that. Alright, and then we got to be really careful, go around the outside. Go slow, go real slow around the outside of the donut. And make sure if this overlaps to make sure that you don't draw over the overlap. See, you're going to make sure you don't draw over the tail. Now this time we are going to draw over because we're outlining the tail. See how we're doing that? Draw over, outline the tail. Okay. And then we're going to go put in the zigzag lines. Oh, missed this guy. So now that you have all this on here, oh, I didn't do this. Got to go around this icing that's dripping down on this cupcake. Like that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for it to dry, and then I'm going to go back with my eraser, and we're going to erase all the pencil lines that we can try to erase. You want to get rid of all these pencil lines to make your artwork look really good. Anywhere you see a pencil line, try to erase it. Some of it will come off, some of it won't, but hopefully we can get as much as we can off of this page. Clean up our artwork, make sure it looks really, really good. All right, let's see how good this looks. Where else do I have pencil lines that we can get rid of? Like that. All right, so then the next step is I'm going back, and there's some areas that look like I've missed. I'm going to go back in, and I'm going to try to detail. Oh, and I'm going to put some shadows in our. So I'm taking, this is the dark green, and I'm going to do another layer to put in some extra shadows on our donut here. See how I'm doing that? So then it looks like it's more three-dimensional. I'm going to do the same thing here. And you have to draw really slow. Spin your paper around. Like that. And then maybe there's a shadow here where it's attached to his body. And then underneath the nostrils. And maybe here. Okay. Oh, let me finish over here. So what I'm doing is I'm going around so it looks like it's more three-dimensional by adding a little bit of shading, a little bit of shadows. I'm taking the same marker because these are alcohol markers. I'm adding another layer to my alcohol marker, so then that way it looks like maybe there's a shadow, a little bit of three-dimensional look to it. Like that. So I missed that. All right, so now let's see what else do I want to add to this guy. I'm taking this super light gray and I'm going to go around right underneath this you know, this icing that's dripping over the edge. And maybe a shadow under this tail. And his teeth, maybe. And there you go. A donut.